Well, Saint Anthony, Maine felt to Garth and I, who worked closely together on it, like a really significant place. It is a really significant place, but we were quite young. This was a big opportunity for us. Architecture itself was changing by looking at history in a completely different way than it had through the modern era, through postmodernism. We're young as a firm as well as young as individuals, so there was a lot of dynamics at work that made the creative process there a very, I would say, both contentious in a generally positive way, but a very rich one, where we were debating lots of ideas and exploring very widely. As a work of commerce in an abandoned area, we needed to make it friendly and accessible and exciting, to bring people in, to have the businesses work there, to create spaces for everyday use for people, not only on the street, but in little corners. So that was very much part of the mission from the beginning, is to have it be very people-centered. The old buildings in themselves had a certain appeal, but that was a part of the city that was scary to most folks. So we needed to demonstrate with the buildings that what was inside of them was attractive and safe. The walls were falling apart in some cases. Two of the buildings, it's a complex of 6 buildings, 2 of them were beyond salvage. The foundations had to be resupported in some cases. So the most basic technical issues of architecture were engaged in at Saint Anthony, Maine. Because the budget was tight and because the existing buildings were significant architecturally and historically, we had a lean approach to their redevelopment, which turned out to be environmentally sound. So we looked to simple solutions. We looked to reusing things wherever possible. We looked to a flexibility in simple constructs that proved to be very adaptable. The original functions in the building are long gone, and there's another generation, perhaps 2 generations of users that have each found the buildings to be very accommodating and useful. And that's a significant environmental advantage. 2 of these buildings are the oldest commercial buildings in the city of Minneapolis, and they were falling apart. They were not going to last very much longer, and we preserved them to high preservation standards. I think culturally also, the complex is a significant work of architecture. It's largely existing buildings, but the organization of the inside was altered by what we did in ways that are still relevant architecturally, both functionally, but I think aesthetically as well. I think it endures as a piece of architecture and is set up for another 100 years through the work that we did.